यार इजा होला सारा यात्रा गाउँले त्यही गरे अरे आफूले एक रस्सी पनि देख्न पाएन अरे आफै लेगे अरे पुरा रुँदैछु अप्सन खाएको दिन्छ अनि मेरो पनि मलाई पनि त नि सोल्युसन दिएको म लेखिहाल्थेँ नि स्कुलले जस्तै उसको जो पुरानो स्कुल थियो नि त्यो पुरानो स्कुलले सेन्टर किनेको रहेछ पुरानो स्कुलले पुरै सोल्युसन दिएर पठाउने यस्तो यस्तो रहेछ 7:30 बजे रिसिभ गर्ने रहेछ 7:30 बजे क्वेसन मिक्स गरेर 8 बजीसम्म पुरै सोल्युसन हालेर प्रिन्ट गराएर त्यसलाई अनि विद्यार्थीहरूलाई त्यो सेन्टरमा पठाउँदैछ सेन्टरवाला चाहिँ त्यो स्कुलले चाहिँ एकदम के नगर्ने रुल पुरै सार्ने भयो अनि अर्को स्कुललाई हल्दैन भन्ने अब नानीको स्कुल त सरकारी भयो त्यो त ज्ञानै भयो अनि अरू दिन पनि यहाँ यताउता उ गर्ने थिए अरे के अरे अरू दिन पनि तिनीहरू चोरी नै राख्ने आफूले चाहिँ एकदम टाइट गर्थ्यो अनि तै पनि अब यदि अप्सनल म्याथको दिन पनि यदि त्यस्तो भइदिएको भए मैले लेखिहाल्थेँ भयो अप्सनल म्याथ त दुईवटा क्वेसन बिगारेँ कि 8 मार्क्स अनि सब वरिपरि अरू सब्जेक्टहरू छन् अनि त्यो भएर त्यो दिन चाहिँ बर्बाद चाहिँ भयो हिमुले आयो भने हत्या हाल्यो अरे त्यहाँ त मोबाइल आउँदैन सरलाई फोन गर्दैन अरे अनि सरले सोल्युसन पठाइदिनु भन्छ
The graph of y is equal to 3x squared minus 12x plus 9 is shown right over.
The parabola also has 0 or 2x intercepts. One ठ्याक्क छोएर आइन्छ 1 2 भनेको चाहिँ दुईटा यस्तो 2 होइन इक्वेसनहरू त थाहा छ अलिअलि होइन ग्राफ एक्सिस -3 xy प्लेन त्यसै यस्तो प्लट आउँछ प्लट गर्यो अब यसमा के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि -5 minus the figures अब यसमा के हुन्छ यो ग्राफ तयार रहेछ find the match of the parabola in the coordinates यो कोअर्डिनेटमा चाहिँ ग्राफ कस्तो हुन्छ भने त्यो कोअर्डिनेट्स होइन यो y इन्टरसेप्ट चाहिँ यो 5 हो हैन 0.5 भयो y इन्टरसेप्ट चाहिँ अनि भर्टेक्स चाहिँ नि हाम्रो 2.9 भयो हैन लेसर रुट चाहिँ हाम्रो -1.0 र हायर रुट चाहिँ हाम्रो 5,0 छ यो चेक गर्दाखेरि मिल्छ rewrite the
I have
equation
a function here defined as x squared minus 4x plus 6. What I want us to think about,
अब
I
यसलाई
squared is 25, 2 squared is
यसको चाहिँ vertex
squaring 0 when x minus 5.
ठिक छ यो चाहिँ के गर्दैन
अब के थाहा
इज ग्रेटर देन 0 छ भने चाहिँ प्याराबोला अपवर्ड खुल्छ नेगेटिभ छ भने चाहिँ त्यो डाउनवर्ड खुल्छ होइन ग्राफ इज द प्लट अफ y इक्वल्स टु ax स्क्वायर वाला चाहिँ एउटा चाहिँ ग्राफ हाल्यो भने ओपन ग्राफ y इक्वल्स टु x स्क्वायर सरी x स्क्वायर गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ यस्तो खालको ग्राफ हाम्रोमा आउँछ रहेछ भनेको चाहिँ यो चाहिँ हाम्रो 0 छ त्यो 0 बाट पास हुन्छ सरी प्लस x प्लस कति गर्यो त्यतिबाट पास हुन्छ 3 बाट पास भयो 3 0 भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ यो लाइनबाट पास भयो यदि 2 भएको भए चाहिँ अर्को त्यो है 3 यो bx ले भन्दै यसलाई चेन्ज गरौँ प्लस गऱ्यो 3x गऱ्यो भने कहाँ जान्छ होइन पुरामा जान्छ ल ठिक छ मानिलियो एउटा ग्राफ यो लियो अब यो ग्राफमा चाहिँ नि यसको चाहिँ y इन्टरसेप्ट यो भयो भर्टेक्स यो भयो x चाहिँ छैन यसमा त्यही ठिक छ the standard form of quadratic equation shows the intercept of the parabola इसमें से a equals to 1 a equals to 0.5 a equals to 2 a equals to 0.01 0.01 what 0.4 0.5 जति उसको त्यति ठुलो चाहिँ कर्भ हुने रहेछ 0.9 मा चाहिँ अति सानो कर्भ 1 मा चाहिँ होइन ठुलो के अरे यो कर्भ उसको 0.5 0.09 0.0 आगे गए 0.05 भन्दाखेरि कति छ अलिकति यसमा कसरी हेरे अनि Zero point 0.06 मा चाहिँ ठिकै हो कर्भ ठुलो हुँदै लगभग यो भइसक्यो यस्तो गर्नु काट्दिन्छु अब चाहिँ the standard form of quadratic equation y equals to ax squared plus bx plus c shows the intercept shows the y-intercept of the parabola. The y-intercept of the parabola is located at 0, c. इसमें 0 था होइन अनि यो सबै ग्राफमा 0 छ. The factor form of y shows that the x-intercepts of parabola. Shows the x-intercepts of the parabola भनेको हाम्रो चाहिँ यदि चाहिँ प्याराबोला को चाहिँ y equals to a चाहिँ x minus b र x minus c छ भने b र c चाहिँ भनेको हाम्रो इन्टरसेप्टहरू where is the equation y equals to x is the equation of a parabola then b is x-intercept b and c are the x-intercept are x-intercepts so अनि a भनेको त उस भइहाल्यो हैन कतिको चौडाइ छ के छ भन्ने देखाउँछ प्लस छ माइनस छ the x-intercept of the parabola is located at b, 0 their values are p comma 0 र c comma 0 चाहिँ यहाँनिर points where they have x-intercepts. The term x-intercept with the vertex formation. The vertex form of equation of parabola is y equals to a चाहिँ x minus h को whole square plus k चाहिँ k भनेको चाहिँ हाम्रो vertex को फर्ममा where h and k are the vertex, where h comma k is the vertex. Equation from the equation, remember which equation from display the relevant feature is the constant equation rather than necessary to lecture. What is the zeros? Zeros भनेको चाहिँ हाम्रो आन्सर भनेको रुट भनेको zeros भनेको हैन भनेको हामीलाई यो फर्ममा निकालेर यो b र c निकाल भन्नु हुन्छ हैन अनि त zeros भनेको त यहाँ अघि बताएर have 0 here then. But in the term 0 and the root are used interchangeably with the roots running our screens. Not a child. What are the zeros of the graph? What are the zeros of graph f x equals to x square plus 7x plus 12? fx is y equals to x square plus 7x plus 12. Okay, let's solve गर्दाखेरि 4 3 2 हुन्छ भनेपछि x times x plus 3 4 times x plus 3 and the x plus 3 र x plus 4 हाम्रो यसको फर्म चाहिँ अब चाहिँ के छ भन्दाखेरि ए भनेको चाहिँ भ्यालु 1 छ र x प्लस comparing with y equals to a times x minus b र x minus c b भनेको चाहिँ minus 4 c भनेको चाहिँ minus 3 आउँछ आन्सर र जुन चाहिँ हाम्रो आन्सर हुन्छ minus 4 र minus 3 identify the coefficient of the parabola and possible equation. What is the possible equation? यो पनि एउटा क्वेशन चाहिँ इम्पोर्टेन्ट खालको क्वेशन हो र पहिला सुरुमा चाहिँ के देखाएको छ भन्दा चाहिँ हाम्रो ग्राफमा चाहिँ देखाएको छ 3,0 बाट चाहिँ भर्टेक्स छ सरी -3,3 मा -3,3 मा भर्टेक्स छ -4,0 मा चाहिँ x इन्टरसेप्ट छ र -2,0 मा चाहिँ x इन्टरसेप्ट छ अब यसलाई चाहिँ सल्भ गर्न पहिला चाहिँ के गर्नुपर्छ भने y equals to a x minus h vertex थाहा छ भने vertex को फर्ममा राख्ने अच्छा a चाहिँ थाहा छैन अब उसबाट नि गर्नु भने दुईटा इक्वेसन दुईटा पोइन्ट राखेर भनेर भन्दा नि मिल्छ दुईटा तरिकाले ट्राई गर्छु यसरी y equals to a times x minus h भनेको minus plus 3 square plus 3 यसबाट चाहिँ हाम्रो y भनेको अब यसमा चाहिँ एउटा भ्यालु राख्छौँ -4 मा 0 राख्नु अथवा -2 मा 0 राख्नु -4 मा 0 राख्दा ठिक होला -4 x को भ्यालु -4 र y को भ्यालु चाहिँ त्यतिखेर कति हुन्छ 0 हुन्छ 0 इक्वल्स टु a टाइम्स 1 को -1 को स्क्वायर भनेको 1 भएर प्लस 3 -3/3 इक्वल्स टु -3 भनेको a हो अब भने आन्सर चाहिँ के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि therefore y इक्वल्स टु -3 टाइम्स x minus h भनेको चाहिँ हाम्रो x plus 3 को होल स्क्वायर प्लस 3 यस्तो होला नि इक्वेसन -3 bracket x plus 3 whole square plus 3 the answer is a parabola where is upper opening and the coefficient of is positive. Check the feature the vertex is maximum or minimum भनेको vertex maximum minimum भन्नालाई चाहिँ यो पोजिटिभमा आउँछ हैन पोजिटिभमा आउँछ भने चाहिँ यो भनेको मिनिमम हुन्छ होला सायद माथि उठ्ने भएपछि minimum check the is the quadratic form of is factored form of quadratic equation. The zeros of the can be identified as constants. The feature of the graph can be identified as constant in the graph. Key constant in the key feature zeros and graph can be identified as the constants in the graph. Zeros and the root and the cancel. यो भनेको चाहिँ यहाँबाट पास हुन्छ भनेको to reveal specific features of the parabola by standard picture. Please soon what is the equivalent equation from the coordinates. अब चाहिँ question. The graph using y equals to x squared minus 4x plus 5 छ write an equivalent equation from the coordinates of the vertex can be identified. भनेको x minus h whole square वाला फर्ममा राख्नु पर्यो y equals to x squared minus 2 times 2x plus 2 को whole square plus 1 गर्दै भने ठ्याक्क हुन्छ होला सायद हुन्छ 2ab x square x minus 2 whole square plus 1 हैन भनेको कम्पेयर गर्दाखेरि h को केसँग x minus h को square हैन x minus h whole square plus x minus x whole square चाहिँ plus k सँग गर्दाखेरि h भनेको 2 k भनेको 2.1 हुनुपर्छ यसको आन्सर तरिका के हो यसको write an equivalent equation from equivalent equation भनेको 9 र -5x फेरि प्लस लेखिरहेको कस्तो हुन्छ यसमा -5 -4 -9 हुन्छ ठिकै हो यही त हो त अब यसमा चाहिँ since x square of is 1 must be equals to 1 अब यसबाट चाहिँ के निकाल्नु x minus 2 को होल स्क्वायर minus 9 छ भने चाहिँ the coordinates of the vertex हाम्रो चाहिएको vertex त यस्तो constant integration देखिसक्यो the graph is the coordinate equation minus 2 x square minus 2x minus 3 and so on. The vertex of the variable is located is minus 1 minus 4. This is the coordinates of the vertex and the coefficients we should factor. We should use the factor. Okay, yeah, factor from okay, standard from vertex from. Use the find the coordinate. Factor from vertex from the vertex of the x minus x minus 4 and the vertex from the x-intercepts of the parabola are x-intercepts make you x minus 5 x plus 3 x minus 5 x plus 3 जैसे x minus b compare गर्दाखेरि x minus b x minus c from x minus b compare गर्दाखेरि b भनेको प्लसमा 5 c भनेको प्लसमा 3 values 5 to 3 are Q. 3 3 minus 1 x-intercept to show the x-intercept निकाल्न लागि फ्याक्टर फर्म त दिँदैन वर्टेक्स फर्म दिँदैन स्ट्यान्डर्ड फर्ममा दिन्छ के फर्ममा दिन्छ फ्याक्टर फर्मले x-intercept मतलब y-intercept सोचिरहेको थियो x-intercept चाहिँ फ्याक्टर फर्मले दिन्छ transform graph of the equation in the parabola
Here I've drawn the most classic parabola, y is equal to x squared. And what I want to do is think about what happens if I were to, or how can I go about shifting this parabola? And so let's think about a couple of examples. So let's think about the graph of the curve. This is y is equal to x squared. Let's think about what the curve of y minus k is equal to x squared. What would this look like? Well, right over here, we see when x is equal to 0, x squared is equal to 0. That's the one, this is the yellow curve. So x squared is equal to y, or y is equal to x squared. But for this one, x squared isn't equal to y, it's equal to y minus k. So when x equals to 0, and we square it, 0 squared doesn't get us to y, it gets us to y minus k. So this is going to be k less than y. Or another way of thinking about it, this is 0. If it's k less than y, y must be at k, wherever k might be. So y must be a k right over there. So at least for this point, it had the effect of shifting up the y value by k. And that's actually true for any of these values. So let's think about x being right over here. For this yellow curve, you square this x value, and you get it there. It's clearly not drawn on the scale the way that I've done it right over here, but you square this x value, you get there. But now for this curve right over here, x squared doesn't cut it. It only gets you to y minus k. So k must be, or y must be k higher than this. So this is y minus k, y must be k higher than this. So y must be right over here. So this curve is essentially this blue curve shifted up by k. Shifted up. So making it y minus k is equal to x squared, shifted it up by k. Whatever value this is, shifted up by k. This distance is a constant k, the vertical distance between these two parabolas. I'll try to draw it as cleanly as I can. This vertical distance is a constant k. Now let's think about shifting in the horizontal direction. Let's think about what happens if I were to say y is equal to not x squared, but x minus h squared. So let's think about it. This is the value you get for y when you just square 0. You get y is equal to 0. How do we get y equals 0 over here? Well, this quantity right over here has to be 0. So x minus h has to be 0, or x has to be equal to h. So let's say that h is right over here, so x has to be equal to h. So one way to think about it is, whatever value you were squaring here to get your y, you now have to have an h higher value to square that same thing, because you're going to subtract h from it. Just to get to 0, x has to even, just to square 0, x has to equal h. Here, if you wanted to square 1, x just had to be equal to 1. So if here, let's just say for the sake of argument that this is the value, this is x is equal to 1, and this is 1 squared, clearly not drawn to scale, so that would be 1 as well. But now to square 1, we don't have to just get x equals 1, x has to be h plus 1. It has to be 1 higher than h. It has to be h plus 1 to get to that same point. So you see the net effect is that by instead of squaring just x, but squaring x minus h, we shifted the curve to the right. So the curve, we do this in this purple color. The curve, this magenta color, will look like this. We shifted it to the right, and we shifted it to the right by h. Now let's think of another thought experiment. Let's imagine that, let's think about the curve y is equal to negative x squared. Well, now whatever the value of x squared is, we're going to take the negative of it. So here, no matter what x we square, we get a positive value. Now we're always going to get a negative value once we multiply times a negative 1. So it's going to look like this. It's going to be a mirror image of y equals x squared reflected over the horizontal axis. So it's going to look something like that. So that's y is equal to negative x squared. And now let's just imagine scaling it even more. What would y equal negative 2x squared? Well, now, actually, let me do two things. So what would y equals 2x squared look like? So let's just take the positive version. So y equals 2x squared. Well, now as we square things, we're going to multiply them by 2, so it's going to increase faster. So it's going to look something like this. It's going to be narrower and steeper. So it might look something like this. And once again, I'm just giving you the idea. I haven't really drawn this to scale. So this increasing it by a factor will make it increase faster. If we did y equals negative 2x squared, we did y equals negative 2x squared, well, then it's going to get negative faster on either side. So it's going to look something like this. It's going to be the mirror image of what I just drew. It's going to be a narrower parabola, just like that. And similarly, and I know that my diagram is getting really messy right now, but just remember we started with y equals x squared, which is this curve right over here. What happens if we did y equals 1/2 x squared? So I'm running out of colors as well. If we did y equals 1/2 x squared, well, that thing's going to increase slower. It's going to look the same, but it's going to open up wider. It's going to increase slower. It's going to look something like this. So this hopefully gives you a sense of how we can shift parabolas around. So for example, if I have, and I'm doing a very rough drawing here to give you the general idea of what we're talking about. So if this is y equals k up, so its vertex is going to be right over here, and it's going to be scaled by a. If a is greater than, so if a is equal to 1, it's going to look the same. It's going to have the same opening. So that's a equals 1. If a is greater than 1, it's going to be steeper like this. If a is less than 1 but greater than 0, it's just going to be wider opening like that. If a is less than -1, so it's even.
x minus 4 whole square minus 4 ले शिफ्ट भयो भने चाहिँ राइटतिर शिफ्ट हुँदैन minus 4 सेकेन्ड ग्राफ र यदि प्लसले शिफ्ट हुँदैन y equals to x plus 4 भयो भने र स्क्वायर भयो भने यतातिर शिफ्ट भएन र y equals to x square without x square plus 4 छ भने plus 4 छ भने माथि शिफ्ट हुन्छ y equals to x को नि स्क्वायर minus 4 छ भने तलतिर शिफ्ट हुन्छ यति चाहिँ बुझ्नु पर्यो ल ठिक छ graph of f of x minus 3 equals to x square minus 6 translates the graph 3 units downwards. And it's minus 3 on the Q&A plus 5 version 2 version EU function in the we can also represent stretching and reflecting graph algebraically if you can see C is equals to constant. Graph of particulars minus reflected around. Okay. Reflects on x-axis y equals to f of minus x reflects on y-axis y equals to c times f of x stretched vertically by factor 3 stretches is actually important stretching to y equals to c times f of x stretches graph the parabola by factor c. You know it जस्तो कि f of x यही समझ होइन अनि काट्दा अब चाहिँ हाम्रो अर्को क्वेसन y equals to minus x square छ भने त्यो पक्का त्यो हुने